How's it going, everybody? It's Biggsy here, and welcome back to some more ARBS videos. They've been popping a lot lately, and I've been into it, and yeah, I've been receiving some good feedback on some of my work here. Now, there was a few questions that have been answered in my DM on YouTube from Steam. Whether it be people from the exoskeletons or whether it be from the tyrants. The Tire Reaper has been popping at the moment. You know, it's been going good. A lot of people have been enjoying it. So I've been getting this question where, how do you, what do you usually do in order to try and, get the best performance out of the sci-fi factions that you like to do? So the thing is, my aim is to, add something, not add, but pretty much make them really try and perfect that image from those movies where they have these exoskeletons or these, these exosuits or power suits, because they're just really cool. That shit is so cool to me. And I said in my last video, it actually is happening. But so I'd like to show you what my normal routine would be on Animal Revolt Battle Simulator. In this session, my normal routine and session, what I do and how I test them, and give you some like examples of what I do in order to compare what I do with the other one, and then how I test them at this stat, and give a bit, because it's something that's a bit too detailed in order to type out. So I think the best thing to do is make it into a video. So I've been working on these some more exos for about maybe 4 more hours now. And as you can see, thing is, again, see, this is the thing that you gotta not do if you want to make something. You gotta make sure you I mean, I thought I tested it a lot, but turns out there was an issue that it kind of slipped past my eyes with the tier 8, with the versions, with the version 3 tier 8 exoskeleton, as you can see, which is really bothering me. And but I'll still leave it on the workshop for you guys, because it's just going to be a good example as well, and also help me be able to explain how I try and perfect these. So as you can see, the first thing you'll notice when I spawn the exoskeleton tier 8 version 3. Now, if you noticed, even though I spawned it straight, it is bouncing upwards. Now, this is caused because the symmetry in the game, it's not completely even. So if you do one side, the other side won't be the exact same, no matter how even you place it or how many times you rotate the prop or the armor, whatever you're putting on. It's just how the game is for now. I think V-Dimension should add, there was this mode in Robocraft that I know was there. If you guys have played Robocraft, it was called the mirror mode. So that way, whatever you put on exactly will be on the other side, exactly at the same spot, but the other side, which is very, very clever. That was in Robocraft. It was a system in Robocraft that worked really well. It was also quicker, and it was also very perfect when you were making things. So that, and also because I have my aim was to make these taller, actual taller exosuits, and that means starting from the bottom upwards. I had tried to as you can see, increased the normal soldier size, so normal human size of the soldier. I tried to increase it, trying to make it a bit like boots, and I tried to connect it all together in the support, but it's very difficult, very, very difficult, because you're increasing the size of the normal, you're trying to increase the size of the um, normal human that was added, and on top of that, it's not completely even where we add things, such as like this part over here will not be the exact. If you pay attention closely, if you put them on performing, if you run them through tests, it looks even, but when you actually test them out, you notice that it's actually not. I'll give you some examples. So let's say, for example, this one was the one that I released on the workshop, and this one here. Now this one is the same, except I repositioned these armors here, tried to make it even more even, because I felt that it wasn't. So I tried to make those even, as you can see, but it has to be perfect from the very start because you're trying to increase the normal default size of the human. So if you compare them, I'll also put the other ones, and now whenever you spawn them straight, it just bounces up and it positions itself to the right, which is annoying. But so this is the first one that I did that actually is the first step to having a height, increased height over the normal soldier, which actually works perfectly fine. And this is on the workshop. This is the version 2 exoskeleton, tier 8. And I know there's a lot of complicated names for it, but that's how it is. When you start going in depth, you start to need to use these names in order to be able to, differentiate them and find all those bunches separate from each other. So as you can see, this one actually is the first one that has the height increased, and that works perfectly fine. And the reason for that is because it's not that high, so when it spawns, it's not going to bounce because the props are spawning beneath the map, so that way it makes the NPCs bounce. And that's why these ones here, which are higher, as you can see, this one here, I can use, they're the same. So if you see, this one is a lot higher than both of them. This is the first one. This is actually increased in human size. So as you can see, there you go. That's a better view of it. This one is much higher, so that way it's making the so that's why it bounces really high when you first spawn it. But this one's okay, even though I added a bit of height increase. So these ones here, I think that's a good comparison. But this one's a little bit. It was supposed to have a bit of height advantage while also carrying all these and having that suit with it while maintaining its balance and still having a height advantage over the normal humans. So and if I feel like if there is something that really differentiates these, then I can name them something else after the the whatever the version of the tier it is. For example, tonight actually I've been working on. I think this is also another one of the ones that I've been working on with the same versions. As you can see, it bounces, but this one is a bit more different, I believe. Which one was a different one? I had another one that was completely different. There it is. This one here. So this one here, as you can see, this one's a bit more different. I tried to go with these legs in order to try and fix it, but it didn't work out. And I think the reason for that is because I just noticed now, because I used these in that direction instead of front and back. So, but that's because it was hard to make this the same height as that while going with that direction with the armor on, starting from the side of its legs, of its feet, instead of the front. So that's why I had to add on extra armor in order to still make it the same, but I tried to go with a different positioning of the placements of the armor to in order to increase the height. Otherwise, it was not possible. because then you would just have to keep adding on the sides, and then it would not work. It would just, the knees would just, just bend to each other, and it won't be able to move, it won't be able to walk, it's going to fall. This is not going to work. So yeah, and also I tried to work with taking a bit of light armor as well, in order for it to look good while maintaining its, the strength from the top, but still being the same height, as you can see. But I noticed that these ones here, they do sometimes tangle and stuff and trip over, but then again, I've also noticed that normal default soldiers do that as well. But yeah, I try to make sure that they have the least tripping and falling over as possible. I want it to be as smooth as possible. So I'll show you the one that I've been working on tonight, which would be not those ones. We've already put that one. So I've made two new ones. We've got the tier 10 shielder exoskeleton, which is this one here. That there. This is more of a this one's called a shielder. This one's more of like a it's quite self-explanatory. I went along with a nice design as well. The green glowing eyes on the new shield, the skull shield, with the yellow machine guns, of course, and the nice. It's a bit like a little. I took this idea from the power loader from Aliens, where the main character was wearing that power loader. It's got a little bit of a hut. It's got a little bit of a hut that the pilot is in, which is really sick. But that is actually a suit though. This one's more of like you can call like a power suit or a power belt, exo belt type of thing. But I took that little hut idea, as you can see. It's got protection from the top and also a bit from the side, and definitely the front over here. And yeah, so as you can see, this one's got that little. I got that idea from the power loader from Aliens. I really liked it. It was like a little hut, so that was pretty sick. And then I've also made exoskeleton tier 11. This one's got a special name. This one's called Dreads, and it's quite clear why it's called Dreads, because it really does have that dread appearance, the dreadlocks appearance. But it's a different mechanism I went with here. So the purpose for this one was this one's height. To let you guys know, these are the heights where it's the same height. These ones here are the same height as a human. So I tried to go with a bit more of the normal size human, but being able to maintain a lot from upper body. And this one here was the purpose for this one was to carry as much light armor as possible. Well, to carry as much armor as possible while still maintaining its weight. So these ones, I noticed these ones here are lighter. So, but I went along with adding a lot of them in order to get the most armor as possible with the least amount of weight, and with also the great amount of movement, and with everything at the back supporting it, as you can see. So yeah, Dreads is pretty cool. These two at the moment tonight, I think I nailed really well. But man, it's absolutely time consuming, I swear, because yeah, there is no mirror mode. So mirror mode would be a really good idea in Animal Real World Battle Simulator. So yeah, as you can see, let me put another soldier there for you guys, so you can see what it looks like up close and personal. There you go. More soldiers, as you can see. These are all together. And as you can see, this is still the same height, but with different feet that I tried to go with in order to support it. As you can see, yep, there we go. So this is what I've been working on. And hopefully that kind of broke down what I was trying to explain. But yeah, so these are the these are a bit more of like power suits and exo belts, I like to kind of call. And also the reasoning for these postures here of the machine guns, it's going to have a lot more height advantage, even though it's not that, tall, because I went back to the normal human size for the feet. So it's going to have its long reach advantage while also maintaining that arms look, because that's what they actually are. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Nice exoskeleton power suit soldiers. They're pretty dope shit, to be honest. This one here, I don't know, this one I really like because it's got the little hut there, and it worked out really well because it actually does work. And the shield look that I went with here looks pretty dope as well. So yeah, and these are the things that I've been working on tonight. But also I've been trying to perfect the... Oh, actually, hold on a second. Looks like... Maybe it's just me. It actually looks like this one is still taller. So this one is a little bit taller than the other ones. This one's closer to that one, but this one's still taller, the one that I've released for you guys. So yeah, don't worry, the ones that I fully test out and, perfect as much as I can, I make sure I run them through a lot of tests and then I release it to you guys. This one here, this one is still, I released this, I'm going to keep this there for you guys because it's still very unique, this one. It's got, it's got the nice height that it's going on. And yeah, so these are the ones that I've been working on. Let me put onto a bit of action for you guys. Maybe I haven't done that for a while. Let me put up against the, let's say, how about the new Tyrant Havoc? Let's do it against the Tyrant Havoc. Alrighty. And I'll put in slow-mo for you guys so you guys can check out what I mean. Hopefully give you a better understanding. So as you can see, that gets really annoying. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Holy shit, one blow, man. Let me take that away. Let's put on something that is a bit more of a melee-based enemy. The Tyrant prototype. So they walk very fast. I also noticed when you slow-mo, for some reason the mobs start to spaz out. So there might be a glitch. But yeah. Yeah, they're going pretty good at it, as you can see. Now they look very sick. That's what I also like. They look very sick. Looks like some shit out of movies, which I love. And that's what I went for. The best amount of they all have their own different type of advantages when you're using them to fight. One might be have increased height. The other one might have longer arms as well. The other one might have more armor, a bit slower. The other one might have a bit more medium armor, or like the dreads one here I made, tier 11 dreads. I really wanted him to have as much armor with the least amount of weight possible. And he looks pretty fucking badass though. Like, he looks intimidating, as you can see. Something that it looks like something you wouldn't want to fuck with. And this one here, I just love that idea. It's got a bit like a bobcat worker type of look. Looks pretty dope. But yeah, so it's definitely got that shielder appearance. I want to put it into action for you guys again. And when they accidentally shoot each other, they do fall as well, because it breaks their balance. And they just go back to walking like nothing happened. So when they're done with the battle, they all walk perfectly fine, but it's when they start to try and spaz out in speed, you know, when they try and run really fast because of the armor. It's, you know, also with the um the the machine gun's balance of the machine gun arms with the balance, you know, it's not being up to speed with it trying to move. So that's also what it is as well. So it gets, and I go in really depth with these, and test them out, man, probably like over 50 times. And yeah, so this is what my routine and session would be like on ARBS. If you actually compare these, the smallest prototype Tyrant I've made, the Tyrants are still pretty big. The smallest Tyrant that I made, so yeah, these are deadly. They look very, you know, killable. Like they look very easy and stuff on the workshop, but they're pretty tall, man. So these are all height advantaged humans. And compare the sizes. Look at that. Look, they're still fucking giants, man. And then you put the other tyrants in there. Let's say, for example, say the Leech Tyrant. As you can see, tyrants are pretty badass. Like they're very tanky and buffy. So yeah, so I'm trying to make these factions as well for you guys. For you know, you could say make a scenario where you fight off the tyrants. The appearances, man, they look really sick. I'm gonna put in slow-mo for you guys. Yeah, so they do end up shooting each other sometimes. So I don't like when they do that shit when they fall. It gets really annoying. But yeah, so this is what I work on. I test them in slow motion so I can check out their every move. And I look at them running fast. See, I don't know why they keep fucking falling. It gets really frustrating, honestly. There's been times where I've gotten so fucking frustrated. Look at this one. This one looks badass. The body on this one. It's got like a worker look. Give you guys another look here. So this one's legs are fucking spazzing out, which I don't know why. It was working fine the other time. Oh man, the style on them just looks fucking intimidating, man. It looks so badass. Try to add some two small 0. This thing is 0.2 or 3, I believe. 0.4. 0.4 of the these long armor styles here in order to give it, you know, less weight but still have that support there. So yeah, this one looks pretty sick. I added in the yellow, small yellow parts in the middle as well, you know, to go along with the guns, and give it these nice green glowing eyes on its legs as well as its back, the big one. Dreads look really badass. So don't worry, I will release them as soon as I'm done with these tests that I got going. Let's go ahead and try put these guys against some soldiers and see how they go. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, let's go ahead. Yeah, see this one here, he really can take a lot of shots. I wasn't going for speed for him. Oh, one's down. and just go back to walking and roaming around just casually. So yeah, these are the type of things that I work on, guys. Let's see what else we got here. I think I was doing something else as well. So let me show you guys a little bit of this. Obviously you guys have seen it yourself on the workshop. Let me show you guys the steps that has been taken, the major leaps. So we first had we had these, tier 2, first one with this one here, the small machine gun here. Not too much damage, but it adds something for it to, add something for the first, one of the first exoskeletons, which was its purpose. And in order to support the left arm with the machine gun on the left shoulder, as you can see, we had the support here. And then we went a little bit more advanced. We had a double-sided, and to give it like the small exoskeletons that you would see, as you can see. But then after that, we started really leaping. Okay, so after the melees, and after this one, of course, this is the tier 6 exoskeleton, the one with the lightning, made to take out anything bigger than human height. Then we took a leap for this one, just the normal mech. As you can see, I'm not sure how I did this one. This one works perfectly fine. This one actually was a mech. This one was like the smallest mech possible, because thing with a mech is they have they really have a lot of support and all around their body. So even their head is pretty much covered with the mechs. That's pretty much what I define as mechs. As you can see, only a very little amount. Everything else is covered. The whole body is just pretty much become a mech. So this was why I called the tier 7 exoskeleton mech. So that was really the mech, and that was the largest one we did on a recent video. So that was the first step, and I started going a bit more. Now, mind you, these are still the same height, but this one is just literally a mech. And then I went to this one here, which was the first step to increase the height of the actual human, starting from the feet. So this is when we start to actually, increase the height. And that was a leap. That was the first leap to come to what we're working on now. And as you can see, the height is actually a lot taller as well, but it's just postured odd right now. And then went on to version 3, which is the one that you guys have as well. This one here, this one is very tall. As you can see it if I put out the back. You can still see it tall over there. The head is over here, whereas the head over here is here. So it's got a long height, which is like the type that you would see in movies. That's the point of them as well, to become like super soldiers, to have that advantage, the strength of what you would have when you're wearing those suits. You know what I mean? And then I went with tier 8 version 4. Tried to go along with a different type of structure for the feet in order to decrease as less problems as possible. And also having a different look as well. Try to take off these poles here. And now it really looks like arms, and it looks pretty sick. And then what else? That was the other one. And then there was also this one here. This one is the same one as this one, but I just you know, just deleted these fronts here and tried to reposition them. But they're the exact same. Yeah, they're the exact same, but I felt like I perfected these ones here. I placed them a bit more better. And I just took off the lights just so I can tell which one's the which one that I did last. So that's that. This one I tried to, if you can tell, I tried to take off some armor in order to gain its balance back. That's that one. And then we went to, which one's this one? I think that's the exact same. Yeah, that's the exact same. Is it? What's the difference with this one? See, I've done so many that I sometimes even lose track. This one is, not sure what the difference is with this one. And then went up to these guys here. The Shielder, tier 10, and then tier 11 Dreads. So that's what we've got going so far. It's very time consuming, but I try to go over them a lot. Otherwise they won't be fluent and smooth. So that's pretty much what I do. Even the small details, I save them and I add another one and then go over them again and again in order to get the best last product. I don't even know what the difference with that one was, but I still have 2 prefabs of it. That's interesting. As you can see, I sometimes get lost myself with what I'm doing. Let's get rid of that one. So yeah. Yeah, these are the boys that I tried to really go with in order to give them a height advantage. Starting from this one here, as you can see. And these guys here, I tried to, after doing these ones, I tried to go back to the normal human feet, with of course connected armor to them, to the feet still, but different approaches. You know, this one is, you know, self-explanatory. This one's a shielder. It's got a nice little hut in there for the human, the pilot. This one was supposed to have, I'm trying to give it the most armor with the least possible weight as possible, with all these mechanisms, dread-like mechanisms at the back, and also still giving this a roof as well. You know, it's the most protection, as much as protection with the least amount of weight possible. So they're all different. They may look the same, believe me, they're not. They all have different stuff that I've been trying out with. But yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that answered some questions. If not, you can still DM me. And if you want to give any ideas or anything, go for it. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be able to release some of these for you guys, and you can have fun with them and enjoy them. But yeah, so take care guys, thank you for tuning in.